Now it's time to work on the wolf head silhouette that we will have in the background. And in this case, maybe we can save some time by drawing in symmetry. This is a very simple technique. All you have to do is to start drawing with whatever tool you want. In this case, I'm going to use the pen tool, and I will use this bright gray color and no fill. So if I start drawing maybe with an increased thickness on the stroke, I will probably just start drawing down here. What you can do is, while you are drawing with the tool, go up to the object menu and choose Repeat Mirror. Once you do that, you can set up where you want the center point to be. So you can drag the center of symmetry, let's say here, and then we can continue drawing. So let's just continue drawing these details. Going to already start adding some corners here, like so, making it look like there's fur, and going up, curving the ear a bit, and down, and then we can just finish here in the center. Now, if you go over the center point, so I'm just going to drag this over just so you can see what happens. I'm using the direct selection tool on that last point. If I drag it over the center point, it's going to perfectly align it. So there's already a mask applied to the shape so it doesn't go over the center line or the center of symmetry. I'm just going to keep it somewhere there, and I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. So here we can use the pen tool to continue this point. I'm going to go around and come up here and click and drag. Okay, so that is looking like a nice silhouette. And we can probably keep everything the way it is. Yes, I think it looks good. Now what I will do is to double click outside. So we disable temporarily the repeat function. But by the way, whenever I want to come back to it, you can see it is a single object here in the layers panel. And all I have to do to go back to it is to double click on it. So it's a type of isolation in this case as well. And then you can continue drawing. So of course we can draw additional lines. We can even use different tools like the pencil tool, and everything will be added in that same special group. So we won't be able to see the objects unless we open that little line there. And as you can see, everything is created within that mirror repeat group, which is a special group. Now, if I double click outside again, I can get out of the drawing mode. And what I wanted to do here is to change the stroke to a fill. So I will select this and press Shift X. And what I will actually also do is to take off the color from the stroke. So we don't need the stroke. Let's turn off the sketch. Okay, so we have this outline and it looks quite good, but maybe we can go back and just select it one more time and then also use the same techniques as before. The path simplify, I think, is going to help here a bit. That looks better. Let's zoom closer. So that was before and after. It definitely simplified it a bit more. Now, what I want to also do here is to draw inside this shape, similarly to what we've done with a little red. But unfortunately, the repeat feature cannot be combined with the draw inside technique. You can see it's disabled there. You will also not be able to use it as a clipping mask. So what you need to do is to expand this drawing mode. So if I choose expand, click OK, then now we will have a group with these couple of objects here. To further simplify this, I like to press Command or Control Shift G a couple of times until we have less objects visible. And it's starting to look a little bit better already. But I am going to also delete these clipping parts. There's one there, select that, delete it, and another one there. Now we can again remove the unnecessary groups and just see these two objects next to each other. So there's one and there's the other one. If If I select these two, I can go to the Pathfinder panel and just unite them. So now we have a single object. That's just to simplify things. So drawing in symmetry using the mirror repeat technique can save you time, but later on it's just easier to work with a solid shape like this. And I might actually need these a couple of times, so I'm going to make a duplicate of it already. So Command or Control C, Command or Control F to create the duplicate. I will turn off this silhouette. I'll just call it wolf, and I will call this one wolf as well. Okay, so we have the duplicate available in case we need it. But for now, I have my outline here, and what I would like to do is to add some interest to it. Again, I would like to introduce some textures for this. Now, first of all, I am going to add the shading on it. So I will use the Draw Inside mode. I switch to my brush, which still uses the same scatter brush that we used before, but this time I'm going to use it with a darker gray. So let's see how that looks. Yeah, and that looks good. But to be able to see what we are doing, I will also turn on the sketch. So that will help me to see where the eyes will go. And that's obviously important because there we want to introduce darker details. So I'm just going to draw over that section a couple of times, like that. A bit more here. Then down next to the nose, we can also add some shading. Then we can also add the shading here around the edges. And actually for this, I can even turn off the sketch. So yeah, it looks good. Maybe around here. I want this to be quite subtle, so I don't want it to be too much. I wouldn't use black, for instance, for this. Okay, that's looking quite good already. Now let's turn the sketch back on again. I want some glow around the eyes. So for this, I'm going to use red. And I'm just going to, actually, instead of red, I will use a brighter color like this orange. I will just draw a little bit around the eyes there. Again, without overdoing it. It can go and extend out a bit to the sides like that. And then I think that is going to be enough of this color.